up, everyone? It's Super DC Gaming back once again, and for our third Batman film review, we're going to be doing 1995's, and this time directed by Joel Schumacher, Batman Forever. This is the third in the original Batman film series, and like I said, the first to be directed by Joel Schumacher. It stars Val Kilmer as Bruce Wayne / Batman, Jim Carrey as the Riddler, Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face, Chris O'Donnell as Robin, Nicole Kidman as Dr. Chase Meridian, Michael Goff as Alfred, and Pat Hingle as Jim Gordon. So, remember how I said last video that Batman Returns to cause a controversy for its dark tone, and with McDonald's, promoting it and all that? Well, because of that, Warner Brothers decided to give the direction of the film series to Joel Schumacher. And so what Joel Schumacher wanted to do was he wanted to eschew the dark dystopian feel of the Burton films. For his vision, he wanted to include the feel of the comics of the Dick Sprang era of Batman, as well as the 1960s television series starring Adam West. And they really by doing so, they have, more bright colors, quirky dialogue, which we'll get into. So, yeah. So, in the film, Batman faces off against Two-Face, which is, District Attorney Harvey Dent, and the Riddler, or Edward Nygma, who is like a scientist. It's been a while since I've seen the movie, but it's like a scientist who went insane and he now becomes a criminal that leaves behind riddles at the scene of his crimes, hence the name the Riddler, while he also adopts a new kid. Well, I say kid very lightly, but he adopts Robin. So I know the Batman Forever and Batman Robin, I'm going to get some hot take for Batman Robin, but I know these movies, Batman Forever, they both began some positive resurgence in recent years, but people really didn't like them when they came out. But anyways, about the movies, I actually think that, we'll talk about the movie set first. So when we look at they said they wanted to do a more toyetic approach to the movie. And by doing so, they made stuff like the Batmobile, the Batwing, the Batboat, etc., all that. They made them look more like toys, such as exaggerated features, the Batmobile being able to glow, like the vehicles have like a blue light to them. The Batmobile able to go up different rooftop, if they say it is like a wall of a building, the Batmobile can just go up like that. Gonna hate me, but I actually really do enjoy that inclusion, because it's it feels very that is a very strong comic book type feel. So with that being said, I think many people said that Val Kilmer was a great and underrated Batman. Rest in peace to him. He was a great actor. I really liked Jim Carrey as the Riddler. I thought he was entertained by the movie. Tommy Lee Jones, I thought he was good for what he was. I know that people are put off by the whole cartoon buffoonery that Two-Face and Riddler portray in the film, but me personally, I love it. I mean, it's not afraid to be a comic book movie. It's not like the Zack Snyder movies, where they're just completely embarrassed to be called comic book movies or Batman movies. So it's not like Zack Snyder. It's more content in having the silliness. So, yeah. And this movie also is the first, and to date, the only live action film that features the origin story of Dick Grayson as Robin, because it has like the Haley Circus, his parents getting killed. Though I can't remember if it was Two-Face that had that happen, because I don't know, like, was it Two-Face that happened? I can't recall if it was Two-Face or someone else that had Dick's parents killed. I'll have to look into that. But, so yeah, this movie, had them do that. A lot of the one-liners, I want to say that there are some pretty quirky one-liners, such as where, Alfred, before Batman gets into the Batmobile, which, fun fact, the Batmobile designer is, or at least the Batmobile designer who designed the Batmobile in this movie is actually the same person who worked on the movie set for Alien. Forgot his name, can't remember his name for the life of me. But yeah, he was the one who worked on the vehicles for the film. And I must say, for what he did a good job. I mean, I really love the Batmobile in this film. In terms of live action, it's my second favorite, behind, of course, the 89 Batmobile. So, anyways, like I said with the one-liners, before Batman gets into the Batmobile, Alfred's like, "Can I persuade you to take a sandwich with you, sir?" And then Batman's like, "I'll get right through." What would have been funnier is they actually had a scene followed up where Batman pulled up to a Burger King or McDonald's and had him ordering food. Nicole Kidman, while not as strong as Vicky Vale in Batman 89 or Catwoman in Batman Returns, I still think for what she was given, she did a good job. I mean, she's the love interest in the movie, because every movie needs a love interest at some point, and Batman Forever is no exception. So there's the scene where they're at the bat signal with Gordon, but then it turns out that she was the one that called the bat signal, and then Batman's like, "You trying to get into my cape, Doctor?" And then she wants to learn about. She needs to learn. No. She thinks that Batman needs. So I'm trying to quote the nostalgia critic of you, but it's like. Here we go. Batman needs to tell. Not needs to tell, but. Dr. Chase Meridian thinks bats are rodents, and then Batman has to tell her that they're not. But then, of course, the shenanigans begin. So. And also, the music composed by Elliot Goldenthal, while not as strong as Danny Elfman's for 89 Returns, I would say Elliot did a great job composing the music for this movie too. Really enjoyed thought the music was pretty nice in this too. And another thing I want to talk about is there's also a rumored Schumacher cut of this movie. It's kind of like the Snyder cut and the Ayer cut. People are asking for a Schumacher cut of the movie. Not really sure what is in this Schumacher cut, but because Warner Bros. Will never release it, I guess we'll never see it. But the only thing I think we have of it is there's the shot, not in the movie, but there's a still of Bruce looking at a giant bat. I think what I heard is that's apparently in the Schumacher cut of the movie. So anyways, regardless of that, I know people didn't really like how Two-Face and Riddler had very, like, they both were very cartoony and goofy in the movie, you know. Two-Face acted like a monkey, and then Jim Carrey's Riddler was just doing, you know, the typical Jim Carrey. You know, people didn't really like that, but I personally enjoyed it. It made him more funny. So yeah, just thought that made it more enjoyable. And also we need to talk about this because I don't really mind the bat nipples on the bat suit. I know people hate that, but it's not like a huge, in my opinion, it's not like a huge detriment to the quality of bat suit, because for the most part, it is literally the same as the Michael Keaton suit. Plus, we do get the Sonar bat suit, which in the recently released Lego Batman Forever set, they included that bat suit. So we get that suit later on, and it doesn't have the bat nipples on it, so that, so you have that, so it's not like he has it for the whole movie. And also, Val Kilmer has the iconic, you know, meme where he has that, like, smile, where he's like, that gets memed a lot, so, yeah. What else is there? The only minor criticism I have is, typically in the comics and other media, whenever, like, Two-Face flips a coin, he doesn't, like, in Batman Forever, he keeps flipping it to get the result he wants, and rather than just going with what, you know, it gives him. It's not, like, a huge detriment, but I kind of wish they had him, you know, just stick with whatever side the coin landed on. Again, it's not terrible per se, but it just could have been better in that regard. Yeah. Sorry if this review wasn't as in-depth as the 89 Returns review. But I did try to do it the best I can. It just, because it's better than what other times of other reviews, because anytime with other reviews I couldn't be coherent, so I'm just getting better at this. But regardless of that, my overall rating of Batman Forever, I would give it a 8 out of 10. Not as good as the first two movies, but overall I enjoyed Batman Forever. The vehicles were cool, the actors were cool. Again, rest in peace to Val Kilmer. Music, direction, it was a very fun movie. I do appreciate how it's getting a more positive resurgence in recent years. So yeah, Batman Forever, great movie. So yeah, see ya.